I finally got the chance to see Pharrell's Lego animated documentary Piece by Piece, and I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. Now, yes, just in case you didn't already know, Piece by Piece tells the life story of singer-songwriter and record producer Pharrell Williams, all from the perspective of Lego animation. Because I guess Pharrell wanted to tell his life story in a way that felt genuinely imaginative and even genre-defying. After all, there have been plenty of musical biographies produced over the years, but there's only ever been 4 theatrically released Lego movies. 5 if you now count this one, of course, so it already does feel pretty unique and original. I mean, the story does feel pretty similar to an A&E documentary, featuring plenty of interviews and narration and everything else that one would expect to see in a conventional documentary film, but the animation does allow the story to feel far more fresh and creative. Now, I should probably mention that I am a fan of Pharrell Williams in general, because I grew up listening to his type of music. I mean, my taste in music grew in the early 2000s, just as Pharrell was making a name for himself. Plus, my older brother was really into NERD and the skateboard scene in general, so Pharrell definitely had a big influence on my personal taste. And even after I finished watching this film, I immediately went on to listen to several Pharrell-produced songs. But what I'm trying to say here is I'm not sure if this movie is going to speak to anyone who isn't already a fan of Pharrell. And even if you do happen to like Pharrell's music, I'm not sure if you'd be interested in watching his story through the lens of Lego animation. So, as someone who grew up listening to Pharrell, as someone who enjoys watching all kinds of different films, and as someone who enjoys watching animation in general, I think this movie was probably made for someone like me. But I think the movie will also speak to aspiring musical artists just as well. After all, this movie serves as a reminder that you can stay true to who you are while not being afraid to try something different. I mean, the fact that this documentary is also a Lego movie for some reason is an embodiment to that very theme. Sure, the movie may not be as insightful as one might hope it would be, especially to anyone who is actually a pretty big fan of Pharrell's work, but Piece by Piece still proved to be a rather fun and entertaining film nonetheless. I may not have learned a lot about Pharrell on a personal level, but I enjoyed getting to watch a Lego version of his rise to stardom. And I did get to learn that Pharrell has synesthesia, which is a condition that I also have. Yes, I also see colors when I hear music, so I enjoyed getting to see how that concept was explored in this film. Now, I'll never be quite as creative as someone like Pharrell, but it's still cool to know that we at least have one thing in common. So, if you couldn't already tell, this highly unusual documentary/animated biography really worked for me personally. But I think Pharrell fans, music fans, and animation fans in general will also be able to enjoy it. It's just a shame that the movie didn't perform any better at the box office, because Piece by Piece would definitely get a recommendation from me. But I appreciate anyone who took the time to hear my full thoughts on this movie, so as always, thanks for watching.